It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang. I hope when this is all over, you remember who fired first.
Republicans.
You've tried to kill the president twice.
Republican.
And now you've assassinated man for talking.
I don't know who that is.
You don't really want to do this, okay? 400 million plus firearms in this country. And they don't belong to the left, bro.
You see, I'm confused by this video because you said you tried to kill the president twice. Who shot first? Well, that was a Republican. But then you're going on and mentioning Charlie Kirk and insinuating that that's a Democrat, when we don't know who that is. And then you go on to say that liberals don't have guns. So we don't have guns, but we shot everybody. But it was Republicans that tried to shoot Trump. I'm really starting to think y'all don't put a lot of thought in these videos before you make them.
Charlie Kirk was my boss. I was the first Black woman he ever hired for his organization, Turning Point USA. Years before I was Gabby Faye, the model, I used my government name, and I was Gabby.
Wait a minute, the model? Ooh, got a BBW model, you know, do something to do something. Anyway, see, Charlie not racist. He hired black people. She might have been a DEI, but he got one, okay? One black friend, that's all we need.
Gabrielle Fakir, political right-wing activist, grassroots organizer, working for Charlie Kirk. I have since changed my political views and stances on a lot of things. But I do have a few stories from back in my political days that I can share with you. I remember coming off of a political campaign working for another organization when I found out about Turning Point USA. They actually reached out to me because I actually have double majored in political science and psychology. That was my pre-law. I was going to law school, but on my graduation day for my first degree, I realized I don't really like school. I'm more of an artist. I'd rather move to LA and be a starving artist and do music and acting and stuff. I digress. My Caribbean parents were not happy about that. They would have preferred me to be a lawyer, but hey, it worked out. Now I'm on Times Square billboards and I model for Nike and I have a successful career. I'm very blessed. Back when I worked for politics, like I said, Charlie Kirk and his organization found me. They interviewed me. They offered me the job. I remember the very first day I walked into that room dressed to the nines. I had my suit on, I had my pearls, I had heels on. It was giving Olivia Pope, okay? I had to be on top of things. When you are the only Black woman in the room, you gotta work twice as hard. You gotta step your game up. I had a lot to prove, of course. I remember that first day I was walking to my seat for training and Charlie gave me the gummiest, biggest smile. He was so happy that I was there, I was overly qualified for the job. And
Cap. Stop the cap. He was like, who hired up? I know we got some qualified white women in here. You hired it. Make sure she extra qualified. Charlie Kirk double checked your resume, so you must have been really, really qualified, ma'am. Or you was a DEI hire. I call cap on that, but whatever. Let's keep going.
I remember Turning Point flying us out to Chicago, which is where Charlie's from. We were the outskirts, and they gave us hotel, a really nice hotel, and we had the weekend to kind of hang out and just have fun before the real work start. So it was 9 p.m. and we all got dressed in our bathing suits, ready to go to the hot tub. And I remember walking past Charlie and his group with me and my group. My group was the party group because we just wanted to have fun. So I remember inviting Charlie. I was like, Charlie, you're gonna go to the hot tub with us? And he was like, nope. And you just knew that this guy, he was keeping his nose clean. He was not trying to mess up or put himself in a position to be judged later on when he's running for president or running for office. So he just had this sense to know that I don't want to be in a compromising position where they could use this against me later in politics because that's how the game goes. I respect it, honey, okay? I was trying to have fun. We were having the time of our lives because the other coworkers, we all just got there and we were just so it was really fun, lots of laughs, good times, until it wasn't, okay? And I can get into that. as well. But yeah, that was like my first day. You know, fast forward and I can get into details if you guys wanted to comment below what questions you have. I did experience really bad treatment. I did experience racism. Honestly, working for Charlie Kirk and this organization is what woke me up to the sad realities of some people's prejudice against me. And the fact that I stood my ground on certain things and I just didn't see eye to eye to a lot of the ideologies being pushed in place. So I was like, I'm not sure if this is it for me, you know? Yeah. The first day of work was awesome. The first weekend was really fun. Charlie Kirk was my boss.
So pretty much, her mama told her, girl, it is hot in that kitchen. Don't touch that stove. Being the big, fine, and fluffy girl she is, she had to go taste the porridge. And if it burnt the roof of her mouth, and now, if it walked like a duck, it might be a dog. I don't know. Or it might just be a duck, motherfucker.